Okay, so starting the video of the basement, I went ahead and came down the bottom of the stairs, so you could see they are not typical rise and run. They're quite tall and just kind of like, you know, short. Little bit of the cover missing there. So here at the bottom of the stairs, if you turn to the right, you come into this like kind of unfinished sort of area. There's definitely big old step down here. And you come into an unfinished sort of room. Half the sheetrock has been torn up, which is usually a telltale sign of water at some point. So looking around, they've got some steel I-beams on the property and a pretty decent crack here in this corner that they were clearly trying to support. More I-beams here. And they've ripped up the flooring so that they could get the I-beams in here, and you can see they filled in some cracks. But I mean, there's just lots of things, you know, like holes in different places and stuff that just needs to be kind of cleaned up and contended with. Another hole there. Okay, so I think there's another way to get into this room. So we're just gonna walk straight forward here to come into the rest of the basement, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, this front wall, so this is the wall that faces the front yard, has a huge lean to it. It is hard to even show you very well in the video how much of a lean that is. But I'd say looking at that wall, there's probably a good 4 or 5 inch lean happening there, which is very significant. They've got this door kind of leaning against, so you can see where they filled in some crack there. Okay. So then looking out into the rest of this basement, I mean, it appears to me that at one point it was finished and then it's kind of been like unfinished at different times. Like cinder blocks are sort of built up to build these stairs, and it looks like they just put wood over the top and, you know, kind of like a tiling on top of that. It appears to have some microbial growth of some sort potentially there. Okay. And then here is a wood-burning fireplace. I do not know if that is functional, but I would guess the one upstairs that I said appeared like a fireplace probably was at some point. It was probably connected to this, and they just kind of changed it up. So lots of spray foam again on this back wall, but all pretty exposed and unfinished. So this is a full basement, and they did carry the steel I-beams along this entire wall. These beams seem a little far apart to me on this wall. Usually they're about 5 feet, and they're a little bit more than that here. But you can see it's a pretty big crack. That's a huge wall separation. I mean, like I can put my whole hand in there. Yeah, so that's my entire hand inside the wall there. Okay. So just a quick little, you can see again, you know, they pulled off sections of the ceiling and this back wall. I mean, it looks like they came through with these sort of like steel beams, as if they were kind of casing it in for walling almost, but they use the steel instead of like wood. Same vinyl double pane windows down here at the bottom. Another door that goes outside. This back wall has a lot of lean to it. And again, I just don't know how much you can see in the video, but if you take a look at this, like this post is pretty straight up and down, right? And you see how big the gap is here. And when you look at the bottom, it completely lines up and there's no gap. So it's like this wall is all leaning this direction. So it's almost like the whole house kind of leaned this way, which is why upstairs in that hallway, it was leaning this direction as well. But I mean, again, just a very big lean throughout that whole section. Okay, so coming around this area, A little bit of a crack in the floor. Again, we've got another electrical panel that, you know, I don't know if this is really hooked up. It's definitely not marked in any way. Lots of spray foam and just, I don't really know why they stacked wood and sprayed it there, but okay. So, this is the back side where that curtain was when I initially came down the stairs. And, you know, again, just signs of there having been water at some point. Some microbial growth, it appears here. You can see some water damage on the pre-existing wood at the bottom. Again, another just kind of random little bathroom toilet there and a utility sink. And then, okay, so then headed into this last little space. And I mean, again, the gap from the bottom to the top is pretty different. So you can see that lean there, but just sections of the ceiling cut out here too. And lots of materials kind of put around that it looks like they were using to sort of patch things in. And some water damage on the ceiling in here. Okay, well, that is it. And let us know what you think.